in the business is attributed to? It seems like more and more people are staying in, or lasting, I should say, longer and longer.
Me being in 20 years and not doing anything else is pretty much at this point with me is like, what else am I going to do?
Hmm.
I can't go back to a 9 to 5, et cetera, et cetera. Um, and being in here for 20 years, it's like, it's, it's a beautiful thing. I mean,
What's going on, everybody? It's Webster Style here, the man, the voice, the fragrance, and we're here for legend. We're here with the one and only Richard Mann. Richard, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine today, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Now, I have, it's weird when I was contacted by interviewing, I'm like, oh, I know who he is. You have someone who's been in the industry for just about 2 decades, and one of the things I want to ask, especially there are a lot of things I want to ask you,
Hmm.
but I understand to some respects how a lot of the ladies ended up in the industry. I've always wondered, so how does a gentleman like yourself end up in the adult industry?
Let me close this real quick. Well, you know, right before the adult industry, I used to be in a lifestyle. So I went to a lot of lifestyle parties, and I got kind of known, throughout America and whatnot. And so it was kind of drifting over where some people who were in adult were kind of like, oh, well, I don't know how. But anyway, I was going to parties with this particular chick, and she said, I know someone who knows someone. Can I send them your pictures? Can I this? Can I that? I was like, sure, go ahead. And just put it in the back of my mind, like, okay, whatever. And maybe 2 or 3 days later, I got a call. And it was just really that easy for me. It
Okay,
really,
and almost 20 years later, here you are.
years later, here I am. Thank goodness. For real.
you know, th- One of the things that I've noticed, there, okay, being a man of a certain age, I've seen the industry from the 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Hmm.
It's weird to say now the 2020s. Um,
Hmm.
and the industry, especially when you think of, say, 80s and 90s, was very synonymous with burnout, with individuals, both male and female, getting into the business and then maybe being there a couple years, then gone. One of the things I'm seeing now is that you have a lot of individuals like yourself who are now in, pushing 2 decades at being an active performer in the business. Do you have any idea well, in your case, what would you attribute that longevity to? And then on the second part of that, what do you think overall that longevity in the business is attributed to? It seems like more and more people are staying in, or lasting, I should say, longer and longer.
Me being in 20 years and not doing anything else is pretty much at this point with me is like, what else am I going to do?
Hmm.
I can't go back to a 9 to 5, et cetera, et cetera. Um, and being in here for 20 years, it's like, it's, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, the longer we do it, the more that we don't want to go back to a 9 to 5 or this, that, or the other. And me, I don't know about many others. I'm able to make a real good living, a real good living, the 6 figures these days. So yeah, I'm not I'm not going anywhere. It'll be 30 years. It'll be to our past because with me, it's not just about in front of the camera. It's me being behind the camera too, being behind the actual camera, production, director, in the back office, editor. You know, this is bigger than just me being in front of the camera. It's about
Right.
being a business and leaving a legacy. That's pretty much where my head is at. Most people, most cats in the industry that I know are not thinking like that. They're really happy for sex, and that's fine and dandy. But I thought we were all here for the money.
Right. You bring up your directing. One of the things I want to ask, uh, I saw an interview with you a little while ago, and you talked about how when you first came in, you were under contract. I think it was like your first 2 years or so, you
Mhm.
were under contract. Did you have aspirations of production and directing then as well?
I've been having aspirations of directing and whatnot from day one. My first contract was with West Coast Productions and James Alexander. Before I had even done really three shoots, I was in his office talking with him about, hey, let me be behind that camera. I got my own cameraman. We can make all kind of magic and do this and do that. And he just looked at me like, dude, you ain't really even got any. How are you coming to me in the office saying this, that, and the other? But it's always been like that. Even before, yeah, it's always been like that.
Yep.
That's so I got to.
Understood. Now, do you think that because one of the things I've also noticed is that you tend to break a lot of people in. Probably pun intended and pun not intended as well. Into the industry, do you think that your passion to be behind the scenes helps to really facilitate making newcomers comfortable on set?
No, I generally want just whoever's on set to be it in the front of the camera, behind the camera, to have a good time and just to be comfortable and not have to worry about anything and just to be themselves. I mean, as far as knowledge shared with them, I'm an open book. It's like ask me whatever you want, and I'll tell you the answer. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know. If I can point you in the right direction to get that answer, I'll do that. So I have no problem. I get criticized, from some people. Like, dude, you giving away the bank, you giving away to this and this, that, other. Like if I see other guys or other chicks or whoever as some sort of competition, and I'm like, there's enough room in here for everybody.
Right.
It really is. It's like a $1 zillion industry. Someone can come up and do great. That's like I'm happy to see it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be trying to tap to that person's shoulder and say, "Hey, why don't you come over here and do some work for me? You can have some of your magic rub off on me." It's a yeah. So I have no problem in sharing anything and everybody. I mean, we can all make money. We really
Very
can.
true.
We all can.
That is one of the things I've really enjoyed about the way the industry has shifted over the past couple of years. Um, Even in general, technology has fostered more collaboration across different fields. I even see that in my day job with what I do, but with the adult industry, you see, at least from the outside looking in, a lot more collaboration because of the sort of, as you put in one of your interviews, that DIY aspect of things now, and
Hmm.
how you're your own cameraman, your own director, you're your own marketer, and people are more apt to work together, much like you talked about, having somebody else's magic rub off on you. And I'd like, it seems like to me there's that fosters so much more of a community in the industry than maybe what it was 20, 30 years ago.
I mean, yeah, because there's more people in it. There's more creators. I mean, back in the day, before the internet was there, before it really caught on with creators, it was just a few companies, doing their thing, and there was no room for them because no one else, because there wasn't a way to do it. There wasn't a platform to put on. No one had money to make a lot of DVDs, physical DVDs, and
Mhm.
try to shop them to the gazillion stores that there are in America and excuse me and the world. Now it's like you got the internet. The world is right there at your fingertips. It's like I mean, I wouldn't be in this game if it wasn't for the internet. I would not be in this game. I'd be doing tech somewhere. So I mean, it's a beautiful thing, but most people, they don't really take advantage of it and use it to their fullest extent as far as in what we do. There's a lot more to be done. This industry is really a hand to mouth type industry. People
Mhm.
think hey, those porn stars over there, they're making like $1 zillion. And it just isn't like that in any way, shape, or form. So, you know, the stuff that I be telling other creators is it's stuff that I've used over the years to make money for me. Like, hey, put your stuff on every platform that you can sell it on, every single platform, no matter where it is. Just try to flood that particular platform with all your shit. It's a lot of work. Maybe
Hmm.
like I'm on like maybe 10 platforms these days. It's a lot of work editing, and you got to upload to everyone. You got to keep track of what you then uploaded to what platform, and it's a real pain in the ass. It's not hard. It's just tedious.
Right.
It's like, oh my God, and it takes up just so much time. It's like, wow, I sit here at this computer 8 to 10 hours a day, every day.
I believe it. I believe it. I always tell people, even with what I do, my schedule typically, I try to put up 3 videos a week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm on hiatus from the podcast for a minute, so it was like the 3 videos plus the podcast, which I turned into a video, and then I do 2 regular shows, which was what I talked about before we started. They got shifted to Friday with a friend of mine on his channel, but my stuff, I literally just the recording, the editing, while it's not 8 to 10 hours,
A
and obviously I'm not on screen having sex
lot of work.
either, and
And
it's
I got,
just me. So
I do a lot of producing, a
right,
lot of directing. So I tend to have a lot of content, that's with me not in front of the camera. I got to
right.
edit all that or get it edited. And I'm not the most organized person in the world. So it's like, oh my God, it's like I get overwhelmed sometimes, but it's the job.
Yep,
It's part of the job.
yep,
That'll be
yep,
poor. And I'm not, I'm kind of
yep.
allergic to it. So
Yeah, I feel
yeah,
you on that one.
I don't make
One of the things I saw in the interview with you that I really resonated because I love the answer. And you said you were a square, and I'm like, no, that means you're keep to yourself. You're into what you're into, and you talked about how you read a lot. Are you reading any books right now?
I haven't, to be honest with you, I haven't read a book in 4 or 5 years.
Mm,
I just, I don't have the time to actually just
understood.
sit down. I mean, now it's like when I want to know something or learn something, I'll go to YouTube and I'll spend 4 or 5 hours looking at different videos to find out the answer to what I want to find out, and then I'm on my way. It's like I can't. I just don't. Like the type of stuff that I'm into as far as reading, it takes real concentration. It's not something. They're just like they're factual books.
Hmm.
Books on business, leverage buyouts, books on penetration testing, all types of the nerd shit, the square shit that
Right.
people that people talk about, and I gotta concentrate and I gotta do it on the screen, and it's too much. I don't have the time.
Understood.
I wish though.
Understood. Now,
There's a lot of good
I,
books
I
out
yes, they are, and I don't honestly. I don't read as much as I probably should. I
there.
right now I'm trying to finish The Way of the Superior Man. I think I'm about halfway through. I kind of pick it up every now and again. Just an interesting book I got recommended by a friend of mine.
And that's a great thing though that you do, that you can etch out that time. I'm starting to try to get into the audio books. It seems kind of odd to me though. I'm like, because there was a time though when I had a book in my hand every waking moment other than being at work for maybe like a decade. I always had a book. Always. You could never catch me without a book on topics from A to Z. But nowadays, not so much.
Understood. I have a question. Are you into fragrances at all?
No, no. I I take a shower, clean up, put on some deodorant, we gone. My wife's like, I got this for you. I'm like, okay, I put some on, but I got it, but I just don't wear it.
Understood.
Oh, now my wife do. She does. She's into them.
Understood. Now, with what projects do you have coming up? Anything big, exciting?
Well, last year, about June, I got a contract with Evil Angel. I'm one of their directors over there now. So my main focus has been to doing shoots for that particular platform. So, and I typically do like maybe 2 or 3 a month for that. So, and my month is usually the same. I'll go and shoot for a couple of the mainstream companies down there. And then while I'm down there, I'll shoot 2 or 3, for me and the stuff that I got going on, and that's pretty much it. So, as far as what's coming up, Summer Vixen will be up on Evil Angel, maybe in about another week and a half. Brittany, excuse me, pardon me, Sasha Sasha Baran, and I always say her name wrong. It's going to be up maybe 3 weeks after that. Yaya is going to be up after that. It's a whole bunch of other stuff. So it's, every year gets busier than the last. So March is
Well,
going to
that's
be,
a good thing.
yeah, that's a great thing. Busy equal money to me. So
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well.
if I'm
Busy
not
equals
busy,
money.
there's something going totally wrong.
Now, I have a question. If someone with your longevity, you've worked with a lot of talent over the years. Is there anybody out there that you haven't worked with yet? And I'm particularly talking about on camera, on screen. Um, that's out there that you haven't worked with yet that you like to?
Well, some of the more like a performer like Rebel Rider. If it's a chick like that,
Hmm.
I my scenes are typically high energy scenes.
Right.
If you want to, so it's like if if she can match that, then I want to shoot with her. I don't care who she is, really. It's just because it's all about performance when it's on screen. And if she can't perform, not just fuck, but actually be able to perform for the camera, as it were. It takes a certain thing. It takes a certain thing, and if they have that and can just let it go, I want to perform. I want to work with them because they're gonna produce a brilliant scene. It's gonna be great because they're gonna both be feeding off each other's energy, and it's gonna be a high energy scene, and that's what people want. People don't really want to see making love too much. They want to see that raw, crazy, primal type thing. And if she can deliver that, like it's like let's go. That's what people want to see, and that's what I want to make. I'm outside of that, I'm just a perv, and that's what I want to make. So, and if it's not that, I mean, it's just a waste of time for me. It just really is. Like, I have no time.
I understand. I think that something you said as far as just scene and the primalness and the energy, I think that that's when, as a connoisseur, someone watches it, I think that's what people really look for,
That's what
that
they.
connectedness. Like I don't think anybody want to watch a scene or watch a movie and somebody's phoning it in. Like you
Yeah,
want to see, like you want it to be real, you want it to be raw,
right.
you want to know that. I mean, especially with what's going on, you want you want to imagine in your head like they're really enjoying the hell out of
Right.
what they're doing.
That's that's what I want to. It's like the chicks like that, like that. They really want to be there.
Hmm.
They let a fuck, and they want to be there, and that's the only ones I want. You can tell when it's fake, when you're watching it, because people are just going through the motions. Like, okay, let me do this position 5 minutes, and do that position 5 minutes, and do this 5 minutes, and then we're gonna come on your face. Uh,
Right.
and they're just going through the motions. No, This is gonna be real. Be really fucking. We're not making love. We're not even having sex. We're fucking.
Right.
Let's have fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable. It's like let's do what we do. If it's not like,
Right. Right. Yeah, I agree. I've always found it interesting when you do see, it's like it doesn't feel genuine, it doesn't feel authentic, and you're just thinking, what are they even doing?
yeah,
Why are
and
they even
people
doing what
know,
they're doing?
and people know that That's why the whole Richard Mann name thing got big. Like, damn, it's real with him. Like, yeah, and they want to see that, and I know that. So I'm like, hey, I can't work with nothing else but because it's people are gonna fault me for it. And I worked with chicks, and they were like, damn, why didn't you do this and do that? You supposed to do this with her and do that with her. I'm like, she wasn't built for it. You know, chicks with like big names and it's been like that's not that's not what she's there for because that's
I
what she,
believe that.
you know I'm not.
Yeah,
Mm-mm. I don't want her to have nothing that she don't want to have. I'm there for her to be like, wow, that was great.
right.
you know but yeah, that's what it is with me. I don't care that and one of the things that my publicists have been pushing since I got the whole deal with Evil Angel was like, hey, Richard Mann's guy, he bringing in new talent, this, that, and I'm like, yes, because there's a ton of talent out there. There's a ton of talent out there that deserve to be, on a bigger screen, if
Hmm.
so to speak. They deserve that. I want to give it to them. Like, come on, deserve it because like I said, this is a hand to mouth type thing, and people are really out here really trying to make a living out of that, out of this, and it's discouraging to be out here making good product, good films, giving great performances, and you're just not really just getting the recognition that that you deserve. So I'm like, okay, maybe that you just need to be pushed out there a little bit more, which is usually the
Right.
case. And once you do that, hopefully that'll bring some more money coming into them because more people know about them and come check out their work on their own platforms on their own site and put some more money in their pocket. And then other mainstream studios be like, hey, he does great work, she does great work, hey, come on over here and do some stuff for us. So I want to just put those type of people out there. I really do. Hey, people, if you're out there, contact me. But that's what it is to me.
I like that. Again, I said before, I love that community aspect. I love the just getting more and more individuals that want to be in the industry involved and giving them their shine. I I think it's weird. It's weird in a good way that the pandemic and with so many more people discovering, hey, this is what they want to do or having the opportunity because of digital platforms. It's really speaking to what the consumer wants and is giving a lot of people who never thought of that's something they wanted to do an opportunity to do something that they eventually love and turn into a career. And it
Yeah,
is good that people in your position really are looking like, hey, this is something we can do and we can work together.
yeah, because most of us, we end up dropping out because the money is just not there. You
Right.
know, got bills to, just like everybody else, we got bills to pay and mortgage and car note and kids and child support and just some of everything. And if they can't make those ends meet, by doing this, they gotta do something else, and that doing something else will take up a lot of their time. And next thing you know, they're really not in the game. So it's like, hey, if I can help with that, I'm gonna do it. Hey, come over here and shoot for me. Come over here and shoot for me. I put you on, and if that can do something for them, then that's great. This is a game that there's no royalties in.
Right.
You know, that's why people think we're rich. They think that we got Tom Cruise money or you know Brad Pitt money and money like
Hmm.
that, and it's just not like that. It's just not. The people who have stuck with it. They just really love it that much. Like, okay, it's just a hard game to be in, but I love it. We love it though. We love it. We love it. I mean, we love it not just for the whole fame thing, but for the freedom that it gives us. We get to tend to our kids more. If there's an emergency at school, we can go there at the drop of a dime. We can take care of our parents better. It's just so much more we can do. Yeah, it's like it's hard to go back to a 9 to 5.
That I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I have to take care of my mother now. So it's like, oh my God, thank goodness I can be here for her.
Right, right. That's from my own personal experience. That's a lot. So I can definitely empathize.
You know, she's self sufficient, but I got to be there though.
Understood. Now, I one last question for you before I let you go. Someone who's been in the game 20 years, not just someone, but a black male who's been in the game for 20 years. How have you seen the industry change in its attitudes toward black male talent specifically?
Since I've been in the game, it's always been the same. Now, yeah, I mean, I think black male talent has been treated well in this business. I have.
Okay.
I mean, there's always people in every profession, in every industry that will be the bad guys. There's always those who will be the good guys too. So it's like I just take it all with a grain of salt, and it's like, okay, whatever. But I've never had any problems with anyone in this business, and I know a lot of guys who've never had any problem with anyone else in this business. Now, as far as what goes on behind the scenes at any particular company or this, that, or other, I don't know. But I've never had a problem. I mean, black males are really needed in this game. So if you're a black male that can actually get in and do the job, there's work for you. You always will be. Always will be.
Understood. Understood. Well, Richard, thank you very much for your time. Let everybody know where to find you.
Well, they can always find me on evilangel.com. You know, as I said before, I'm a director over there, but you know, I do have platforms of my own, richardmansworld.com, richardmanevents.com, swingerchronicles.com, and pretty much on on any free website. You just type in my name and I'll pop up. So wherever I pop up, that's that's a platform that I'm on. So yeah, but you know, I just want to thank everybody for always supporting me and just, you know, keeping me alive. And you know, it's the fans. I'm able to put food on my table, clothes on my back, and everything. And I've always appreciated that support. And I promise I'll be giving y'all continued good content.
Thank you, Richard. I greatly appreciate your time and the conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check him out on all his websites. Webster Style, you know where to find us. Everything's been down below. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you for having me, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.